Hey, what is up you guys? So I'm back. Sorry that I haven't made a new video in a really long time. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna go turn off the okay, so sorry if I look a bit white. I really need to buy like a little ring light because right now what I'm using is literally just the natural light coming out of my window. So yeah, well, today's video is going to be about Navy boot camp, like little tips, tricks, and everything in between. I might add a little bit extra as I go along, but yeah, so let's just jump right in. Okay, so before you can even go to Navy boot camp, you have to talk to a recruiter, obviously. But the best piece of advice that I can give you is try and pick a recruiter who you feel is actually being truthful and is actually going to help you, because most recruiters are just trying to, you know, meet a quota. So I don't believe that they get I don't think that they get more money if they put more people through. I just know that they have to reach a quota. So try and pick a recruiter who you feel is actually being truthful to you, who's actually trying to help you, because fortunately my recruiter was actually very helpful. He talked me through everything, he helped me through everything, and he even helped me get a very good job that I actually very much enjoy. I'll get into that one later on. So yeah, that's my first piece of advice. The second piece of advice that I have for you is try and work out. So I didn't do this. I did a little bit. I did get a gym membership and I tried, like, you know, doing like the not curl ups, what's this called, pull-ups, but it just didn't work out for me. I didn't end up going as much as I should have. But it actually turns out that I didn't have a problem with doing like the push-ups and the curl-ups. What I had a problem with was the run. So if I would have just gone out and run a bit more, I probably could have done better in conditioning myself for the run, because for the Navy boot camp PRT you do have to run 1.5 miles. Depending on your age and weight, it depends on how fast you have to run it. But yeah, so I wish I would have gone out and worked out a bit more. Another thing is, while you are in DEP, which means the delayed entry program, it just means that you're just waiting to go to boot camp, they will give you like this study guide, and it has everything you need. You have your it has your rank and recognition, it has your sailor's creed, it has the 10 century questions, I think I'm saying that wrong, and then you have, I believe it has the the chain of command for boot camp. I'm not entirely sure, but you can always look that up on the internet. It's not that hard to look that up. Oh, and mind you, this is everything, I think I said this before, but this is everything that you need to know before you should leave for boot camp. So this is just advice. Okay, so then, you know, like I said, the biggest thing that the Navy talks about is choose your rate, choose your fate. So for example, hospital corpsman, this last cycle for 3rd class was 1%. So I believe, I think I'm getting the numbers wrong, so don't quote me on this, but I believe that for the corpsman, only 20 people, something like that, out of the whole entire Navy made 3rd class. So that's just crazy. They have really bad advancement, but if you're into, you know, being in the medical field, then that's something that you're passionate about, go for it. It doesn't matter about if it doesn't matter about the money or the advancement for you, then don't do it. But if you want to choose a rate where you will advance pretty fast, then you have to score higher on your ASVAB, because if you score lower, then you're gonna get a rate such as like ABF or ABE or a BM or all these other different rates, and they don't have very good advancement rates. Advancement rates. So try and choose a job. For example, I am an AG, an aerographer's mate, and for third class, the advancement percentage is 100%. So all I have to do is answer a few questions right, and I'm a third class. And that's not to brag, but that's just to let you know that, again, choose your rate, choose your fate. So then once, you know, you go to MEPS, you take your ASVAB, you pick your job, and you swear in, you have to go through medical while you're at MEPS as well. And there's not really much I can say on how to pass medical, just, you know, be physically fit, I guess. Like, you can't have eczema, you can't have that's actually the biggest thing, is a lot of people who got there weren't able to go through because they had eczema. So yeah, just don't have eczema, I guess. And if you do have eczema, just pray and hope that it doesn't pop up on the day that you get checked. So then once you're done with all of that with MEPS, and it's the day before you leave. So I didn't know this, but after you swear in, you go back to you go to your hotel, you do muster, and then you have a few hours of liberty in between the time of you trying to go to sleep. You have, what am I trying to say? You have liberty time with your family, so you can spend a few more extra precious hours with your family members before you have to go to sleep, and then you go to boot camp. So I spent my extra hours hanging out with my family and my ex-boyfriend. We all went and got food, and we hung out and just cherished our last moments together, pretty much. And it was the best. It was very sentimental, a lot of crying, a lot of tears, a lot of hugs. But trust me, like, at the time I thought 2 months was just gonna be forever, but once you get to boot camp, once you get through those first few weeks, the time will fly by. So yeah, so once you're back at your hotel, you have to go to sleep. I recommend trying to like get as much sleep as you can, because you do have to wake up around like 4 o'clock in the morning to get to the airport. And this might be different for some other people, because I left from San Diego airport, because that's where I'm from, San Diego. So yeah, you wake up at 4 in the morning. They give you this big packet, and it has all of your medical information, your dental information, and these little money vouchers that you can use if you don't have any money, because you know, some of these people, you don't know like where they're leaving from economically. So they do give us money vouchers if we do get hungry, and I recommend just using them. If you feel bad, like, don't be like they gave them to you, it's for you to use, because if you don't use it, they're just gonna recycle it, meaning like they're just gonna give it to another person, so might as well just use it. I actually ended up using it when we landed in Chicago O'Hare, and like they have like that airport is huge. There are so many places that you could use that voucher to eat at, and yeah. Oh my god, sorry, there's a giant wasp. No, what is that? Yeah, it's a wasp. Okay, yeah, so use your money voucher. Another piece of advice is like I said, try and study before if you want to. The way I did it on the airplane ride to Chicago is I divided up my time by studying and then sleeping. So I studied for a little bit and then I ended up sleeping. I don't know if everyone does this, and I feel like, I don't know, I use this trick from my brother because he is always on an airplane because he travels a lot for hockey. The little tray he puts down and he uses it like a desk, like at school, and he just lays down like that. So that's exactly what I do and what I did. So if you don't want to just lay down like this and just, you know, get a kink in your neck, like, you can do that as well. That's not Navy boot camp related, that's just helping you sleep on the plane ride related. But yeah, okay. So then once you're done, you get to Chicago O'Hare, you go to the USO, the RDCs come pick you up, and that's when it begins. They're already gonna start yelling at you. They're gonna ask for some medical information. It depends on, it's like a specific type of people they need to know. I can't remember what it is. That whole part of my memory is muddled. But you can watch all of this at the US Navy's YouTube, and they go through every single thing. This video isn't about that, it's about like little tips and tricks. So yeah, okay. So the best piece of advice that I was given before I got to boot camp was black pants. Remember this, black pants mean petty officer, khakis mean chiefs or officers. So what that means is from E1 to E6 they all wear black pants. So petty officers from E4 to E6, but E1 to E6 we all wear black pants. E7 to E9 they all wear khakis, and all of the officers, they all wear khakis. So that's the best piece of advice, because when you're walking through that hall and you see someone with khakis, because they have to wear their NSUs, we wear the N-dubs or the PT gear. So, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. So when you first get there, you're wearing PT gear for like, I think it's 2 or 3 weeks, I can't remember the exact time frame, and then you switch over to N-dubs. But the RDCs are always going to be in their NSUs unless it's for like something special. So yeah, when they're in the hallways, you have to greet them. And so if they're walking past you and you see black pants, just say, "Good morning, petty officer," "Good afternoon, petty officer," "Good evening, petty officer," because if you don't, they're gonna get really mad and they're gonna start yelling at you, and you don't want that. You don't want any attention brought to you. So yeah, the hardest part though that I will say is trying to differentiate like a chief to a senior chief. And the reason being is because senior chiefs have like a little star above their anchor, and you have to, like, if you don't have good eyesight, I have pretty decent eyesight, but even I struggle with this. You're like squinting at their collar and you don't know what they are, so you're kind of just like, what is that, a star or not? So I struggled with this. During boot camp, I called a senior chief a chief and a chief a senior chief, so, and I got yelled at for it. So you're just gonna have to go through it. Everyone makes that mistake. Even now, some people, you know, even now, some people will call a senior chief a chief because they can't see that little star. It's really hard. I wish they would somehow just make it so it's obvious, but whatever. But yeah, what is the next piece of advice? This isn't advice, but it's kind of just like, just to let you know, girls, we have the option of cutting our hair. So we don't have to cut our hair to right here, because you have to cut it to like right here. I just so happened to, because I figured hair's gonna grow back. My hair was that short before, so I didn't mind it. and you know, it's just easier. I will say this though, they are gonna jack you up. Like it's quick, because your girls are at the very back of the line, because for guys they're just buzzing off their hair, and for girls they actually have to like cut it. So it's not obvious right now, and I haven't even fixed it. This is still the same cut from when I was in boot camp, but when I was in boot camp, you could tell one side was longer than the other, and it was just terrible. You can see it in my picture, but I'm not gonna show that. That's a negative. But yeah, girls, we have the option. Also, we do have the option of having like a little pouch with some makeup. You're never going to wear makeup unless it is for graduation, so truly there's no point. Plus they have like a little mini Navy exchange where we are allowed to go and buy stuff. That's not until like the end of boot camp, so you can do that if you don't want to, because I know for me, like matching my foundation to my neck can be hard sometimes because my skin tone is just weird. If you don't want to do that, then you can bring it, but it can't be in a glass bottle. It has to be like plastic. So you can just go to like Sephora and get like those little mini sample thingies and put your foundation in that, so you can just like dot it over your face, and you know what I mean. So yeah, yes. Okay, so this goes for everybody. If you want to, you are allowed to bring a Bible, even if you're not religious. Or actually, you can either bring a Bible or a journal. But so if you are religious, you can bring a Bible. If you're not religious, bring a journal. But the reason why I'm saying this is because you can, excuse me, you can have a Bible. I mean, I don't think it can be this big. It has to be a little pocket Bible, and you can hide pictures in it. So I wish I would have done this because those first few weeks I was really struggling, because we're not allowed to get letters. You don't get letters until like the 3rd week, I believe. Something like that, I can't remember. But you're not allowed to have letters or pictures sent to you. So you can have a Bible or a journal and just hide your pictures in here. Just slip it in, so at night if you're feeling homesick, which you are going to feel homesick, you can just, you can just, you know, hold that picture near and dear to your heart. And yeah, there's not really much else, I guess. Well, this isn't really advice, but it's just like kind of known. Oh no, okay, so I have something. When you're getting picked to be in a division, I'm kind of backtracking a bit. When you get picked, try and be part of a 900 division. The reason being is they like they get made fun of because, you know, they live in the Beverly Hills of boot camp. They get treated better and all this stuff, which isn't necessarily true, just because, you know, like they're still at boot camp, they're still gonna get yelled at. We still got ITE'd, is that what it's called? Intense training, yeah, ITE, intense training exercise, where we have to like drop down, do push-ups, do burpees, do scissor kicks. Scissor kicks suck the most actually, but whatever. And yeah, but the 900 division, they perform at Navy boot camp, and on Saturdays they have 4 hours of going without their RDCs, and they're hanging out with different RDCs to kind of train them to do what they're going to be doing. So there's 3 types of 900 divisions. There are the flags, the people that, you know, hold the flag up. There's the band, and then there's the rifle throwers, which is an all-male division. I don't know what their official name was, but they're like the riflemen, and they're the ones guarding the rails at boot camp at the graduation ceremony, so the parents don't run up to the rail and just kind of like lean over. But yeah, I would definitely recommend trying to go into a 900 division. So like if they ask you if you've ever performed in a band, just be like, yeah. Or, well, no, don't lie about it, but if you have, then tell them. But yeah. What's another piece of advice? This always happens with every single division. You're all going to fight. You're with each other 24/7, 7 days a week, literally, for 2 months. And they become like family to you, but you are going to end up fighting, and every single night this would happen. Everyone would start yelling at each other, like telling each other to like shut up, go to bed. We gotta wake up at 5 in the morning, so it's gonna happen. What I ended up doing was putting my hoodie over my head, laying on my stomach, and just shutting everybody out. So I just turned it off. Okay. Oh, so there is this thing called Sandbox, and it's a way for your parents to send you or parents, loved ones, to send you letters faster. And it's through an app on their phone. It's through an app, and they can send pictures, they can send the letter, and it just comes faster than the regular conventional letter. So let me grab one of mine so I can show you. All right, let's see. I have like a little memory box that I like to keep everything in. So yeah, it comes, trying not to, oh, that's upside down. I'm trying not to show the name, but it looks like this, and then you open it, and here's the letter, and then here's the picture, and all you have to do is tear off the bottom, put your letter in, and just send it right back. So it's just an easier way of, you know, sending letters, and it does come faster. But yeah. Oh, another cool thing is, if I can find the other one. So you and your division are allowed to create a flag, and obviously I bought this as a coin, but you know, you have, is it gonna focus? Okay, focused. So yeah, this is one part, this is the first side, and then this is the second side. You can buy a coin. You can buy as many coins as you want. They're gonna send it to you. They're gonna have like a little pamphlet. And then the other one that I got was this one. I was actually gonna give this to my grandpa. So the one side is the US Navy, and then the other side is the Sailor's Creed. These will always be very special to me. Some people don't care about them. I'm very sentimental. I love little things that are gonna make me remember. So yeah, I don't think, okay, so this isn't advice, but when you are graduating boot camp, depending on what your rate is, you're either going to fly directly, fly directly to where your A school is, or if you're going to school just right across the street, then that same day you're going across the street. But depending on that also depends on how much time you can spend with your family. So for example, 8 aerographers mates ceremonial guards, and everybody who's going across the street to Great Lakes, which are like OS's, pre-bud, who else? Other people. They're all gonna go across the street directly, and then you have 3 days to be able to spend with your family, so you have that whole entire week. I didn't know this. I didn't know AGs went to across the street for NDOC. I thought they immediately went to Mississippi, which is where our A school is. But so I didn't get to spend the whole entire weekend with my family. I only got to spend 2 days with them, which is fine, but I wish I would have had that extra day, because the next time I'd see them was during Christmas time, and I graduated in September from boot camp. So yeah, so depending on that depends on how much time you get to spend with your family. Yeah. Actually, no, I do have one more piece of advice. If you end up failing boot camp, say that you don't want to be there anymore, you just, you just hate it and you don't want to be there anymore, you're still going to be there for 2 months or even longer, because it's a lot easier to get someone into the Navy than it is to process someone out of the Navy. So I saw a girl who got there with me that same night she wanted to quit. Like, it was crazy. Like, that night that we got there, she just decided, I'm done, I don't want to be here. And I ended up seeing her 2 months later, eating in the galley where I stayed, in the barracks or the ship, whatever they call it. And I was just surprised because I thought she had already left, but no. If you are separated, they call them seps, you're separated, you're still going to be there for 2 months or longer. So in my opinion, just try and graduate boot camp. If you really hate it, like, boot camp is just one part of the Navy. It's just to get you from going into a mental, or it gets you from going to a civilian mentality to a military mentality, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're breaking you down and they're building you back up. So even though it's hard, I know it is, just stick through with it, and just stick through with it. That's the best advice I could give. But yeah, all right guys, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, that's all I have on tips and tricks and advice. If you guys have any more questions, just go ahead and send me a DM or whatever. Just comment down below, and just ask those questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer them, because I knew that I didn't have, like, I would go through these videos all the time before boot camp because I was just so nervous and I just wanted to know all the questions. But if I'm being honest, like, you just have to go through boot camp. You have to go through it in order to experience it. Like, I can explain it all day here, but at the end of the day, you're the one that's gonna have to go through it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye!